any more girls on the phone?
Where's the girl? I don't know. I don't think Ziggy's a girl. That's about it.
Sam, the girl's water broke.
Oh, no, it's Jimsy. She was laying on my boat.
Yes.
With a flat ass.
She got placenta all over my members-only jacket, Sam.
I've been partaking and watching a little Quincy. And who brought up the fact that it's like this very powerful music, and then you got to have the goofy, because it's Jack Klug. Right.
Is that Danny? Somebody brought it up. Might have been you.
Everybody just knew he was a funny guy.
Bill Burr, I think.
It could have been Burr, yeah. But I've been watching some Quincy episodes, and how the show was on the air and people watched it and took it seriously is beyond me. There's a girl, she was smoking contaminated grass.
Was that one of them?
Oh, yeah, talking about grass and man, and just, he tried to take down a magazine like High Times magazine, only it was called Far Out magazine, and there was an ad in it. Yeah, the kids are calling it Far Out. And there was some kind of an ad in there for this chemical that made plants grow really big. And kids were using it to make their pot grow big,
sure.
But it would kill some of the kids that were using it. And he's like, if one more child dies, I'm going to that and he went to the magazine and talked to the editor, who was one of these. I don't need to be hassled by a man. And meanwhile, we're just always laughing at how he's the coroner. He's supposed to be sawing someone's head open and weighing a brain, not out doing what detectives are supposed to be doing.
Coroners are never caught in a web of intrigue.
No, there's never car chases with the coroner. He's never questioning people.
Yeah, but we do that like with CSI.
Yeah, same thing.
What the fuck are those people doing? They're supposed to be in the lab or at the crime scene. They're not supposed to be going to suspects' apartments.
When I watch things like First 48 or Cold Case Files, things like that, you'll see the detective will get a lead on what who the suspect is, and then they call the cops.
Right. Yeah.
They call officers,
right.
Or the SWAT team or whoever has to go in, depending on what this guy did, and get him out. They're not there knocking on the door. David Caruso is, with his gun out. And no, they're like, hey, I need some detectives, some patrolmen to back this shit up.
There's no reason for anyone in Bones to be in a car.
Yes,
they don't even get to deal with the flesh. They're just, it's all like...
Yes, and Quincy is out there just investigating crime. He went over one of the girls that died from smoking grass. and he goes over the house and was like, do you mind if I look in her bedroom for, like, clues? And he's looking for clues. He's a coroner. And he's going through her music boxes and
taking her panties.
Yeah. Look, let me smell these. I need to know if she has a yeast infection.
And he finds pictures of her. Frederica Bimmel.
Is she a big fat person? Yeah. I'm going to read big fat. There's a moth in my head.
I was watching the very first episode of Quincy.
Ooh, the first one, the pilot.
Yeah, he actually travels to Mexico on his own dime for an investigation because he was, he had to go figure out who the murderer was. So there was some connection.
You gotta go to where the jazz cigarettes are first made. Sam, I don't touch them. I just like to look at them. They're so small. I go to Mexico and photograph them.
Book me a flight to Thailand.
He brought his live-in girlfriend with him to Mexico, and then they get into a car accident where, like, the car goes over, like, the cliff, like that cliff down. And then he leaves her there and flies back to the United States to finish the big investigation.
He left her in Mexico at a Mexican hospital.
Well, she said it was okay, so...
okay.
He was only interested in she's dead. That's really my expertise.
Into slavery.
Yes. It's in my chest of drawers.
You know he tried to expense it, too. He tried to expense it. They were like, what the fuck were you doing in Mexico?
What are you doing? Yeah, the gruff lieutenant guy. Monahan. Yeah, it was Lieutenant Monahan. Was that it? Lieutenant?
Hey, Quince, we can't do it. We're too busy. Yeah.
You do it because if another child dies, it's on your head.
How does this bill from Club Med have anything to do with the child dying? It was a family club.
I was investigating. It was apparently chlorine. chlorine poisoning from the pool and margarita poisoning.
Quincy, the guy was shot in the head.
No coroners out there investigating. But you know what? I remember it was on in my house when I was growing up all the time, and people would talk about it like, "Wow, did you see Quincy?"
What? It's about an ugly 55-year-old coroner.
How shitty would it be to like live in a time where the water cooler talk was Quincy?
Yeah.
Did you catch the Quincy last night?
And then Sam came in and helped Quincy, and he opened the refrigerator. You thought he was going to take out some kind of a human organ, and it was a sandwich.
And they thought it was an amoeba, but it was only Sam's genitals. And his jet black pubic hair. I forgot about Sam. Sam and Quilcy.
Quilcy? What show was that?
That was a girl. That was a leather Tuscadero of Quincy.
And shows like that, and Cannon was another one. Big fat
Cannon was great.
Cannon. Yeah. And I remember the coolest thing. Cannon had a phone in his car. And it was a phone like you would have in your house at the time, with a coiled wire that went to this big box. And I thought it was so cool because he'd like pick it up and it would be like, "Mobile operator, get me 555-3821. And they'd have to go through like this special mobile operator. But he was driving the convertible and talking on the phone. It was like, wow, to fucking be at the point in history where you could do that. And then a cop pulled him over. What are you doing? You're not supposed to be on that thing. You know, in 40 years. You'll not fucking be dead by then, though. Cannon, a Twin Martin production, epilogue. Yeah, they'd have like chapters, like it was a big drama. This was the theme song to Cannon? Cannon. And what could Cannon do? He weighed... William Conrad. He was giant. Sweating constantly. And they did show him a couple of times trying to pursue people. And he would catch them. You'd see him get out of his car and run. They'd go around a corner, and then the next scene, he's got him on the ground. It's like, how the fuck did he catch that guy? He just 21-year-old black kid.
He just waits for him around the counter and just sort of falls on him. It's sort of a timber type.
That's why every year at the Emmys they say, and the winner for best editing is
Cannon. There it is. Cannon.
Oh, there's the Quincy cast.
Maddox. I prefer the Quincy gang.
Wait, who's the other one on the left? Who's that guy? Looks like Quincy's son. Who's that guy? There's Quincy, Sam, his boss.
I bet that's a gruff reporter that was always after the story that Quincy had. That Quincy, I can't tell you now. I'm embroiled in an investigation.
If only I was as tenacious as Quincy was.
Yes. If only I was willing to use my own money.
My room is messy. Wait, wrong show.
Yeah, but those, I grew up on those shows, and at the time, they, I guess, were the shit, you know?
Yeah.
Your parents would sit there and just be glued to this stuff like it was fantastic. Mannix.
This is what happens when you would only have 4 channels. Like, stuff like Quincy would be...
That, God forbid, you changed it too quickly.
Yeah.
Jack, you gotta break it! Invent the remote. What the fuck you want from me? Yeah, you couldn't go from, like, channel 2 to channel 11. Right. Quick, or you'd get yelled at.
Yep.
But for some reason, you had to really fast.
You're going to turn that knob right off the TV.
Yeah. Hey, you're right. I did.
Every TV, you always end up having to use the pliers to change it. That little white thing that stuck out, you'd have to
And then
maneuver.
you'd have to actually tune, like, you'd have to fine-tune your television.
I definitely remember that.
It was fucking ridiculous. Just trying to watch quality television. You never had a clear picture of anything. It was always kind of... nice one. It was always like kind of
sound would never be good enough to pick that up.
Or the ghosting you get from another channel.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching ABC here in New York, you'd get the Connecticut Channel 8 would always ghost in on you. So you're watching Quincy, and some fucking, like, Channel 8 show, a cooking show, is on, and it would be like a white ghost with wavy lines cooking over Quincy.
Yeah.
Someone's cooking food.
There's a meatball in my colon, Sam.
Every time I go through these breaks, people go, "You're old." Yes, I had a Sony Trinitron. I had a Zenith.
We all trusted Walter Cronkite.
Yes, we did.
What time is Dana calling? Does anybody know?
I don't know. It was supposed to be like...
Oh, 9:45.